Hello students, parents, and staff members. My name is Cuauhtémoc Avila, your district superintendent. The recent physical closure of schools has brought about many changes, and with these changes, many questions. I recently sat with staff to go over the most frequently asked questions, and so now I want to take a minute to address each of these questions for you. So school closures is a big deal. One cannot just simply close down schools simply because they want to. And really the Board of Education is the only body authorized to close down schools, but we need a basis for it. And oftentimes we count on either the county, the state, and in some cases the federal government to give us that basis for closing down schools. And in this case, it was the imminent threat of the coronavirus spreading into San Bernardino County. At the time when we chose to close down the schools, we actually had just one case in San Bernardino County of one resident being diagnosed with the coronavirus, but we decided to go ahead and close down the schools because by then we had the assurances from the state that we will be held harmless, meaning that we would not be penalized for closing the schools. So every employee is essential, but certainly during the closure of schools, keep in mind that the schools are physically closed. Schools are still in session, even though we're using the distance learning model. The district remains functional, it remains in operation. And so we brought a group of administrators together to determine how can we physically close down the schools, but remain functional to ensure that certain processes remain in place so that students still receive an education. And so for that, we went unit by unit, department by department to determine who absolutely cannot, for example, afford to stay home or be able to do their work from home, given that the district is still technically open, even though with a reduced staff. We have approximately 3,000 employees, and we had to really comb it down to those that we believe can maintain the district in operation. So the fact that schools are physically closed does not mean that students stop eating. And we want to ensure our community that the district was going to continue to provide services for students in the form of meals. How that was going to look like, again, we convened a team that decided how do we ensure the safety of those essential employees that are still required to report to their work sites and provide the service for students while remaining safe. And so we wanted to make sure that we had a very detailed plan to ensure order, safety, and a service to our customers, which are the families in our community. Yes, there were many opportunities for families to pick up devices, and we had to. We cannot assume that families are going to pick up the devices on the first or second day only, and that if they don't come during those first two opportunities, that they don't need a device. We know that our kids many of our kids need these devices, and we wanted to make sure that whether a family just was not able to make it on the first or second day, that we gave them multiple opportunities, because we really want to make sure that every kid has access to distance learning and that there's no excuse for them to miss out on any learning opportunity during this time. So distance learning is not just distance learning. In our case, it is very comprehensive. It varies from school to school, perhaps teacher to teacher, grade level by grade level, and subject by subject, a lot just depending on each individual teacher. We have an abundance of resources, of links where teachers and others can use, parents can access a number of our links that are posted on our website in order to provide additional opportunity for kids. And keep in mind that our distance learning plan is being used as a model by a number of districts because of the way that we work with our bargaining units, our REA in particular, in order to develop this very comprehensive plan. Yes, one of the top questions during this crisis has been, will there be a graduation date or a graduation ceremony? And absolutely there will be. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have a set date. We're still waiting for state and federal officials to lift the restrictions. But we value our seniors. We want to recognize our seniors, and our team, our central office team, is doing everything possible to recognize our graduating seniors and celebrate them using a number of venues to be able to recognize their achievements. So I'm not only the superintendent of the district, I'm also a parent, and the Board of Education, members of the Board of Education are also parents. And so we have tremendous sympathy for what you are going through right now. So parents, continue to work with your kids, teach them, guide them, encourage them to continue with their education, because like my mother used to tell me when I was probably in kindergarten, if I can remember correctly, is that la educación comienza en casa. And to staff, thank you so much for stepping up. We know that many things have changed, and you're doing the very best that you can under the circumstances, because you too have kids and you too have family members. And so we've all had to make these adjustments during this unprecedented crisis, but we will get through this together.